Hey there, Goat Paws. How are you? So just getting myself situated again. Guess I was trying to do some rewiring and turn this down a bit. Tried to do some rewiring and got guess I unplugged a bunch of stuff I forgot about. Nothing big. Ugh. I say, I hope you treated yourself right. And how that feels. Sucks. I had that happen right around Thanksgiving. Thankfully, they were able to squeeze me in after I really tried to be like, please, it's Thanksgiving week. I don't want to have to not eat. Captain, John Tanium, how you both doing tonight? Thank you for joining me. Yeah, trying to... Man, why am I out of breath? I gotta stop smoking. I don't smoke. That's a Simpsons quote. I got asthma. I can't smoke. Get myself situated here. Good to hear. Good to hear. And down here, just cleaning up my files real quick. Got a lot of open canvases I never really went anywhere with. I keep these open just to mess with. I mean, for what it's worth, asthma's pretty manageable. I went like multiple months. I went like almost a whole year before I noticed, man, I'm really struggling to breathe. What's going on? And finally, oh yeah, here, you have asthma. You need this little thing to not be miserable. And I was like, oh, good. It's pretty manageable though. They actually have medication now that I think is pretty widely available. It's not. I know that's like a loaded thing to say. Like, oh yeah, just get medication with the way our the way our medical system operates. Ooh, I'm sorry. At least both manageable. And then it's like, no, I'm not trying to pull a whole look on the bright side thing, but at least those are things that are mostly manageable. Alright. Get myself. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I'll admit, I'm not the most well versed. Like, I have one client on my caseload who has two. Two are a diabetic, but it's pretty minimal, and they actually, thankfully, are very good at managing it themselves in a sense. Like, you don't gotta like stay on them, because I've worked with clients who they're diabetic, but they also have an obsession with wanting pop. So it's kind of this like, okay, we gotta walk a line here, Pull this away a little bit. Apologies. Oh, Captain, actually everyone here. I actually played some Fortnite. I really respect how easy it was. I jumped on Fortnite 2 nights ago because a buddy of mine, his girlfriend, she still lives out of state. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, isn't that always the way? Just eat better. Okay, when is a salad not going to cost 4 times as much as a as a hamburger? It's always the thing. People will always say self-control, but it's like, it's easier said than done, mon frere. But everyone's got some of that. Jumping back to, so yeah, I actually went and unlocked all the Godzilla stuff in Fortnite. I really appreciate how Fortnite, like, I was so worried when I went back in thinking, oh god, I'm so far behind. But I was supercharged? Does Fortnite, I didn't look into it, so this is probably a question I can easily just look up myself. Does Fortnite, like, hey, Shadow Man, how you doing tonight? Do they, like, boost your battle pass if they notice you haven't been, like, playing for a while? Because, I don't know, like, it was just real funny to me. Like, I know Fortnite, yeah, because I had something called Supercharged, and I was earning, like, multiple levels in a game, and I wasn't playing particularly well. A buddy of mine wanted to just check out what Fortnite's about, because he's looking for a cooperative game. His girlfriend's on the Switch, and he's got a PC. I'm pretty sure they're crossplay. But he was curious about it anyway, so I jumped into it. And I was just, like, shocked. I unlocked the whole Godzilla pass in the night. Like, in the span of, like, maybe an hour or so. So I was, like, really appreciative of that. Still think it's bogus Kong isn't in there, but I'll take what I can get. I wish I want to get an external hard drive, because I know it sounds, like, almost pretentious, but I want to start recording my gameplay, because sometimes, you know, silly things happen. When I look up foods to eat with diabetes, it's just like nuts and leaves. Meh. I mean, at least nuts can be good, but my mom's going through that right now. Oh yeah, I ain't too worried. Unless I'm not interested. I know Jared Krivchevsky is like a super nice guy. I've never interacted with him, but you know, he did a lot of designs. But I'm not the biggest. I would probably say Monster vs. Mechagodzilla is just the design that I was okay with at first. But as time has gone on, I'm kind of like, meh. It's okay. Like, I almost kind of wish they went even more utilitarian with it. Like, make it just look like Truckosaurus. But that's me. I don't hate it like some people. I think it's okay. Like, I knew when they were gonna do Mechagodzilla in the Monsterverse, I knew they were gonna go for, it's that age-old design philosophy of East versus West mecha design. You know, obviously Japanese are capable of making more like military-styled mechs, but it's like BattleTech. I'm trying to think once again. I think Mandalore Gaming. It's like Gundam bought a Tonka factory when you look at like a BattleTech mech. They're big, boxy. I mean, that Ready Player One design is real friggin' good. Like, I would have been down with that. Because it's like, I know they have to walk like a line. Because the Monsterverse, like, Godzilla vs. Kong is an interesting movie because it's like, it's really kind of the weird point where the super science starts to really get out there. You know, that's when you start getting into the Hollow Earth. Like, the whole, like, King of the Monsters obviously lays it out and stuff like that, but you get to that, so it's like, it's interesting. I do like that Ready Player One design quite a bit, though. Never saw Ready Player One. Never read the book. I hear I'm better off. I seem to have a way of blundering out of things that end up becoming an issue later. Harry Potter, that's for nerds, I told my librarian as I went back to read The Glove of Darth Vader for the 100th time. Don't ask me why, I just thought it was neat. There was whales in it. Space whales. They were called Wallodons. But anyway. Oh boy, Freddy and Archie they are a roughhousing. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be that harsh, but I get it. I think I was just really happy to see Godzilla get slapped around a bit. I think he had a comment. I think he needed it. I think he needed it after people were being dicks about him fighting. I don't know what I'm drawing here. I think I was starting to do. Hey, Usa, how are you? Oh, well, if it isn't Wingus and Dingus. Yeah, I like Godzilla getting slapped. People were counting my boy Kong out. I didn't appreciate that. I was trying to be all... like, when that trailer got released, I was trying to be all like, boy, it's going to be an exciting fight. All the Godzilla fanboys who can't stand the notion of Godzilla losing, even though it's happened in multiple movies. It's like the wieners who got mad because Kong ended up getting into the Fortnite collab. Like, so I like seeing Godzilla get humbled once in a while. I think he needs it. I think it builds character. I don't think that applies to real people in real life, but I will say for giant monsters, I think getting slapped around builds a little character. How are you doing, John? Godzilla can have his moments. We've seen him fumble. I did like when Mechagodzilla, like, oh yeah? Well, that's why it's funny. It's like sometimes I think people are so used to the notion that Godzilla wins. Working on the arts? Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping to sit down and really knuckle down on the sticker. Been thinking about it, thinking of ways I want to really kind of boost that color. I don't know. This might turn into Cable. I've been working on my anatomy, so, you know, like, I've been drawing a lot of beefy arms, trying to get better at that. And I like Cable. It's never good when Cable shows up. I'm glad Kong got more screen time than Godzilla. I love that Kong became Conan. That was cool as hell to me. Yeah. Yeah, I've just been kind of wanting to draw a little bit more in the ways of X-Men. But I'm finding ways to try and make colors pop and whatnot more. No, not the turnip pen. And again, I've been adopting that Frank Cho philosophy of don't fall in love with your sketching. You know, don't be afraid, because that was kind of a thing that I struggled with a little bit. Was like if I drew like a particularly good limb that I struggled with, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to have to redraw this, so I'd kind of sit there and sort of like futz about with it. And now I'm kind of like, nah, it's like, you know what? If I did it once, I can do it again. Let's do it again. Cyborg Spider-Woman. Okay. So I have to admit, the movie's kind of a blur. With sticker prints, it's best to keep colors bright. Oh yeah, well, we're going for a very Mirage. I'm actually digging up some of the old TMNT Mirage comics just to try and get in the mindset. gotta get into that 90s that 80s grungy mindset. Gotta real get into it. Oh, 1 second. So let's see. Cyborg Spider-Woman. Should I look it up? I do remember the really, really, really noticeably thick Spider-Woman that was in the... I think it was right after the... bridge situation and with Spider-Man India? I'm gonna do my best to keep those details. It's sick. Like when John sent it to me, I was like, God damn. Like it was genuinely one of those like, fuck. And it's like when I look at the sketch I did, I'm kind of like, boy. I gotta step up my game. That's why I'm working on my anatomy. Oh, the super buff lady, huh? Let me take a gander here. Oh, is that her? That's a lady? I mean, genuinely, because, like, you know, there was a lot going on when this character was on screen. I didn't know that was a Spider-Woman. And plus, anytime I would see... because Across the Spider-Verse was a terrible theater experience, I kind of didn't watch a lot of news regarding it. But everyone I know kept referring to them as a he. And I like that design. I don't mind. I don't think there's anything like we all love to make fun of. That's a sick figure, by the way. We all love to make fun of Rob Liefeld, but I kind of understand where his mind was at, you know? Like, as far as... Because, you know, it's kind of like... Pacific Rim is almost kind of like that. It's Guillermo del Toro basically taking what a 10-year-old think is the coolest thing in the world, and, it's like, you know, yeah, like, that was cool. Like, I will admit a certain fondness. It's like looking at, I keep saying they need to add that Captain America Retro Comics original Tool Style brush packs. I don't know, Crit always kind of the oddball. I wish they would. I wish these things would all just be cross-compatible, you know? I keep saying they need to make that a victory screen in Marvel Rivals. You can make. I want the Rob Liefeld pack where, or the infamous drawing. I think it's Captain America about to fight Crossbones. I mean, I'll advocate for Guillermo del Toro doing conceivably anything. Like, I'll be honest with you. Let the man make whatever the hell he wants. I think he's proven himself. I mean, I have to stop and process the fact that I got a great Nosferatu, which means I technically got a great Dracula movie. And we have Del Toro's Frankenstein coming. And then we have Robert Eggers doing a werewolf movie, a 13th century werewolf movie. So I'm sure it's going to be weird and horny, and it's going to be great. The guy impressed me, you know? Yeah, thank you, Meeps. You're going to get some cookies, don't you worry. Yeah. Robert Eggers announced, I think, this year... It's called Werewolf, WERWULF, I think, and I was like, yeah, with how much I loved, with how much I enjoyed his Nosferatu. Let the man make whatever the hell he wants. Nah. The real star of the show of Van Helsing is that Frankenstein design. I don't care what you think about that movie. I think it's fine. I think it's a solid Stephen Sommers movie. It's not one of his better movies, but it's a solid movie. All right, you know, it gave you those Mummy kind of vibes where it's like, yeah, you got some big name actors. It's fun. What? I don't like secrets. Don't scare me like that, John. I'm gonna have to work on my hands. Well, jeez. Yeah, I gotta get back to my fan art. Funny enough, actually, there's a nice fella, I think. I don't know, I probably shouldn't assume. But, Bubbles the Forest Wizard, they do some really cool, thick Transformers lady artwork. And they collect a lot of cool toys. I get to live vicariously through them, kind of like how I get to live vicariously with, you know, Captain T-Dog with his Transformers collection. I'm like, I live vicariously through them, the young men and women of the world. I mean, that's what I mean with Eggers. You don't know. I mean, the last one you did was great. The commission we got, the battle over the big cookie. I am trying to channel some Liefeld here with the gun. That 86 Devastator will be mine. Oh boy, I imagine that's a crown jewel. I love all the fan art. Like, I can't believe I'm at a stage in my fucking artistic existence where, like, I get people who are like, no, I just like your characters enough and want to draw them. It's like, really? DeviantArt screwed me up. I'm sorry. DeviantArt set a bad precedent. Ugh. Hands, am I right? Man, I'm still kind of riding high from X-Men 97. It was real good. Like, it was real good. I hope they had Cable to Rivals. I think he'd be kind of cool. You can give him tracer powers, right? Like, you can have him do the body slide where he can set a recall point and then teleport backwards. I think that would be kind of boss. I think that would qualify as some form of ill. What did I do this weekend? See, I've lately been getting in this whole thing where I almost kind of treat my sketch phase like I'm chiseling, like I'm sculpting. Again, kind of going off this Frank Cho thing. Some other infamous Rob Liefeld pieces of work. I know he's definitely one of the big names that comes to mind when you get to the boobs and you with the pose that makes sure. They should have had Shocker Soldier. I mean, they should. You can have him come with the symbiote Spider-Man costume. Give him that voice pack. I was saying, like, I want, because there's, they're the flying villains. They don't really have any. They've got, like, as far as your flyers go, it's Storm, Iron Man. There's someone else I'm not thinking about. Oh yeah, he totally is. They got Deadpool already developed and ready to go. They are just waiting for when the game starts to fall off, and then boom. Hey, guess what, guys? Guess who's in? Guess who's in? Like, and then it's like, they just shove them out the door. Still rooting for Big Bertha, not for reasons you think. I just think, like, if you're looking for, like, big body tanks, like, where you can actually have, like, a physically large character that's not another person in, like, a suit or something like that, she makes good sense. Unless you want to add the Blob, but I mean, I think with that there would be people who'd want it. I think Blob would be on the lower end of the listing of Brotherhood of Mutants characters. I think Toad would be much more exciting because Toad, you could make him like a DPS, like a sneaky character, Pyro. A lot of options. I would like to think. I think she'd be... Well, then you could do, like, a fun team-up ability. Yeah, well, Toad, Toad had he's a character when he's done really right, when he's more than just, like, a guy who just kind of creeps around and looks, weird. Yeah, like, you actually make him, like, a stealthy, creepy kind of character, he can be really enjoyable. And, yeah, I mean, I would argue X-Men Evolution has one of my favorite interpretations of Nightcrawler. I think he's great in that show. I wasn't big on Goth Rogue, but I understood the reasoning. But I understood why they would go that route. Oh god, watching X-Men '97 and just seeing that scene of Wolverine and Nightcrawler teamed up back to back, it was like, boy, am I. This is what it's like to feel love again. I'm just kind of like, wow. It's nice to just enjoy something. This is beautiful. She wasn't just goth; she was Southern goth, and that's true. Isn't it? With Rogue, isn't everything? Well, exactly. You could actually make, and you could have some fun banter between the two of them. You can have them reference the Great Lakes Avengers, and then when you add Deadpool in, you can have Deadpool, flirt with her because Deadpool does like Big Bertha. He was very disappointed when she showed up for their date, and it was the thin version of her. He was very disappointed. Ugh, so I'm having trouble with this hand. Hands, right? There's one thing AI and us have in common. It's we have issues with hands, but my issues I can learn from. I always remember the issue of Wolverine where he fought an Atlantean naked. just, I think he just came back from getting obliterated, like on fire, where he was just a skeleton. And it was post Civil War where he was hunting down Nitro. Wolverine #6. Nah, I'll look it up though. I mean, comic book covers have been getting pretty horny lately. Marvel Rivals reminded people. Sorry, I was having a real hard time. Kind of reminded people, man, there's a lot of eye candy in the Marvel universe on both sides. Everyone's real shapely in that game again. She So my wife's home. Whew, there we go. Puppy Parade 2. So I got it all And it all out at once. Yeah, I kind of scrapped that. I wasn't feeling too happy with it. But that's the beauty of it. I can always just erase it and try again. I didn't plan out the pose good enough. That was the problem. And that's something I'm really trying to get out of the habit of doing. Trying to make sure that I'm... I think I'm going to draw me a Hulk. Dr. Banner, pelted by gamma rays, then became the Hulk. It's amazing to me how, out of those old superhero cartoons, Hulk got the silliest theme song. It portrays his origins as more of a minor inconvenience than a horrifying traumatic experience. It's so bizarre. I don't mind the MCU Hulk. Hey, how's it going? I mean, I didn't mind him in Endgame. I kind of liked the whole scene where he was just sitting there. I kind of liked him. But it's like you also need to remember that, you know, Hulk sadly got kind of screwed over when it came to Marvel rights. I think Universal was who was really creating issues there. Because I feel like if Marvel wanted to, they know making a Planet Hulk mini-series, like a Planet Hulk movie would print money. Not the cap for Marvel here. I didn't mind him, but granted, I also didn't watch She-Hulk, surprisingly. Oh, how are you, Faposi? I'm sorry, I'm catching up with chat. I got totally sidetracked. Sorry about that. How are you this evening? Nice. Well, always nice to have a calm Sunday. I mean, Hulk's always had kind of a history when you think about it of sort of being downplayed. Like he's an interesting character because, you know, he's very adaptable. You can have him excitedly talking to kids about how great Honeycomb is. Or you can have, you know, him be this incredibly tragic figure. Fascinating history with the Hulk. Has everyone recovered from the angry video game nerd situation? It's like, I don't even really care that he did that thing. I'm just like, people gotta stop defending the guy like he's not an adult. He isn't a grown adult man. It's like, I know, guys, I was a fan too, but it's okay. You can just let it go. You can just say you're not a fan anymore. It's all right. Life will go on. Oh, exactly. It just amazes me how, in the year of 2025, people are. And it's like, I get it to an extent. You know, he was kind of. I mean, like I said, I lost any interest in anything the guy did after the plagiarism thing and stuff like that. But even before that, I was like, yeah, I think the guy's old and tired now. I think the movie I think the movie broke his brain, and now he's doing this for a paycheck. He's not happy, and he refuses to get a normal job. I mean, I'm sure maybe a normal job doesn't pay as well, but still, like, I don't know. I mean, my thing about that award show is, if I don't care about the regular video game award shows, why would I care about theirs? It's a bunch of talking head pundits that I like. It's a bunch of dorks I never would listen to. I would never take the opinion of seriously to begin with. Like a lot of dorks on the internet, just doing things to get a rise out of people. I mean, well, he's at Magfest this weekend because people are all. I don't know. I'm just. I mean, again, I could care less that the what he did. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so checked out of all this nonsense because it's just dumb people profiting off other dumb people. You know, I'm not trying to sound like I don't care in that sense, but I just know, like, it's always going to be about the bottom line, right? And again, I hate it because I've had experience. It happened in this chat. It happened in stream a few times where I would bring up how, like, in a good timeline, in the good Rolf timeline, he opted not to make a giant bad movie that completely makes zero sense to the fan base that he's catered. Like, I think about that with the movie. I tried giving it a watch, and I was like, no, this is bad. I couldn't. And it's like, I felt weird when I saw the trailer for it, because I'm like, this isn't what I think of when I think. Like, I get what he's trying to do, but it's like, imagine making a movie based off your internet series, and you decide not to include people and characters. Like, you saddled. It's so bizarre. Like, I don't know. But yeah, like, it's amazing. People talk about him like he's a child, and that's actually even more depressing. I just think people need to kind of break free of these weird parasocial relationships, you know? He wasn't your best friend, he was a YouTuber. And it's like, yeah, it's never fun when a celebrity or someone you like, but, you know, it happens. Most of my favorite artists and stuff growing up turned out to be real dickheads. There we go. It's a little bit of a better pose, I think, for a Hulk. Hey, Master Friend. Has anyone in here actually played Stellar Blade? Like, is it any good? Like, I hear it's competent. Oh boy, Never Meet Your Heroes is right for a very, very good reason. Not bad. Just doing another stream here. Hang tight 1 second, everybody. See, but that excuse only goes so far. Like, I mean, there are other YouTubers who have families and kids who at least keep a better mindset. And if that's the case, and he's relying entirely on these people doing it, like capping for him, well, then he should call them out and be like, hey, I didn't want to be a part of this. I don't know. Like, again, it's like, I have seen people get significantly more crap for much less. So, yeah. I didn't care much for that video. It was a little too pretentious for me. But I get the appeal of it. Yeah, just trying to sketch a Hulk here, as John said. I don't know. It's whatever it is. Oh, no, I mean, I'm trying to think how he thinks, too, but it's like, I've seen a lot of people, using that and saying that, and it's like, I'm just thinking to myself, like how far are you willing to, like, bend over for a content creator who hasn't been, like, passionate about what he's done for the last couple of years? There's nothing stopping you from going back and watching the better videos. I just watched his Glitch Gremlin video, like a couple weeks ago. But it's like, it's so weird to me, like... They talk about James Rolfe like he's this doddering old man who like he's Joe Biden. Like, he's just a doddering old man. He doesn't know. He's like in his 50s. But again, people also, need to realize my thing is like the guy could have totally just retired the character. I am fully confident in saying that James Rolfe probably could have retired the character, busted out for maybe little anniversaries or stuff like that. But just do a Patreon, get out of it so he has more time to spend with his kids. I don't know. It's just so weird to me. I mean, I just think the defense force for like all these people. Yeah. Well, that's how people are talking about him. He knows not what he does. I mean, the most unbelievable part of the whole thing was that he would know what any of those games were about. I don't even know what the hell Dustborn is. I mean, I think he could still do it. I mean, again, I don't think I don't think James is gonna catch a whole lot of heat from this. I feel like I feel like it's already kind of done. My bigger sticking point of the whole thing continues to be, I think, the obsessive, like the obsessive like defense force. Yeah. Like the defense force for like these creators, like people need to kind of move on a little bit. It's okay. You can still like him. Like, again, I don't think anyone assumes I definitely am not assuming that he's some sort of super like, guy. I just like, I've also had experiences with people who are obsessed with like the Game Grumps. I don't like the Game Grumps. I have not cared for Aaron Hansen for long before he did that. I of course had a long time. I mean, I still sometimes quote the PSP video. I do. He was funny at the time. I didn't follow him on that, but I've known people who are like obsessed with him to the point where it was kind of like, man, this is kind of not right. I feel like there's something wrong here. And yeah, I've been trying to work on my anatomy a lot lately, and it's fun because I'm starting to notice myself, like if I'm watching a YouTube video or anything, I am now like observing muscles. I've become one of those people now. I'm like sitting there watching, so I'm watching a YouTube video and I'm watching this person, and I'm like trying to make mental notes of, okay, what is that? You know, it's actually been a real good anatomy study lately. Marvel Rivals. Art, that game has a real clean and simple art style. Well, I think it's a byproduct of me trying to like be more mindful of it. Is now I'm like observing these shapes and these forms more in nature. Muscle connoisseur. Well, it's very funny when you look at 90% of my character designs. Why would he care so much about muscle? Well, Luna with muscles? Never. Or she's got arm muscles, and that's just because she's always lifting the fork. I'm kidding. Have a good night, buddy. But yeah, I get where people are coming from, though, on the whole thing. It's never easy. I mean, that seems like it's tailor-made for your style. Because the way you drew Jason was... when you said you were going to draw Jason, I'm like, I have a very specific idea of how this is going to look in my head, and I want to know. And I was like, he exceeded it. Like, you're very good at drawing, like, very shaped designs, I guess. It's for lack of a better word. I think spending so long in a single commission is better. Ooh, what kind of commission is it? Like a physical? Or is it another one of your sprite animation ones? Because I know you've been doing a lot of those lately. Or at least it seems like it. I know that one you did of the workout thing was super impressive. Like, I was still kind of like... Sprite another one. You're like, yeah, those are... Credit to you for doing those. I mean, those are intense. I think I'm going to be starting commissions this week. I think I'm going to go the Google document route, because... I mostly because I'm going to have quite... Like, basically the... Oh, hey, Phil. McGee has told me... Yeah. Like... You and Virtual Vindicator have very, very recognizable styles that kind of have a similar feel to them in the sense that where you both seem to have a very strong grasp of sharp edges mixed with curves, like Mr. McGee said. You both approach it, your end results are of course very different, but there's still that like eye for silhouette, I think, is the other way you can think of it. Like, I can see those characters, I can visualize them in a silhouette with little problem. I still liked your take on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I still really like that design a lot. I kind of want to draw that at some point. Spread I'm working on. Let me take a gander here. Oh, jeez. Yeah, see, and you do like these legitimate like Final Fantasy like high tier sprites. I'm sitting here stressing like whenever I would try and I did like, yeah, like that looks like you'd see that in like an RPG. That's your boss in it. That's a boss in an RPG right there. Oh, you gotta do the Ecto 1. Oh, yeah. That's the thing that has always held me up on my commissions. Because I'm okay working cheap, mostly because I am fortunately in a position where I thankfully have pretty decent, stable income. You're gonna be, yeah, I mean, I would say you definitely deserve to charge more for your work. I mean, the kind of quality, I mean, if I see you again at a convention, I'm totally buying some stuff because I'm gonna look at it as like, one, I get to buy cool stuff from MasterFriend. Two, I still feel like, wow, that Sprite you did for that Prong of Lunagon you did for my birthday was like, that was legit. I think I'm going to fix that arm, though. I don't think I like it very much. It's from the dating simulator. It's great. I love that you gave her the leather jacket. Kaiju and clothes are funny to me. I gotta draw Henshin John's Miss Ultra. Give her like a snappy dress. Yeah. The kaiju, the toku-sized tailor. I just think that'd be funny. January stuff. Ooh. I tell you, it's rough out there. I feel bad when Godzilla in a white tank top. I know there's an artist out there who like specializes in drawing like Bara Godzilla. How are you doing tonight, Phil? Even though you're leaving me. Nah, I'm kidding. I did get a kind of a Warhammer fix over the week. I played Chaos Bane, which is basically... I don't know. John, no rush on that. Like, that's why I made sure I picked something that it's like, I mean, he's going to draw this anyway. Nah. I mean, I did it because, yeah, I would love to see that, but also I was trying to help out as many people as I could. Nervous, I guess, about going back to Cali? You'll be fine. Phil, you adapt anywhere. I know it sounds... I'm doing alright. Just trying to work on some anatomy practice here. Yeah, world's kind of in a weird place. I don't know what to make of a lot of it right now. I'm just trying to do right when I can, you know? It's like pumpkin something. I know I've seen them. I admittedly don't follow a lot of Godzilla stuff right now. I'm keeping Blue Sky very much me and my friends. Trying to keep, like, Blue Sky simple because that was kind of what made, even before Muskie took over, that jag off, Twitter was just kind of a mess for me, so I'm trying to keep my Blue Sky very controlled. I enjoy Blue Sky. Like, I've seen some people getting all doom and gloom about it, but I'm like, well, you gotta realize you're still on social media, guys. Like, I mean, just because we're in a new form of social media does not mean, and the same rules that apply there should apply here. You know, if you see someone causing trouble, you can report them, but when you start getting into fights with them constantly, like, I mean, like, you know, if they're, you gotta pick your battles, you know? I mean, Goji Twitter was just weird because I just feel like I kind of slipped through the cracks, but then again, I also started veering, I guess, a little harder into original character content pretty early on. And I know Lunagon and Luna can put people off just because, you know, the possibility of it being furry artwork, even though I don't consider it that way, but I'm not going to get on anybody who considers that way. I very much consider myself in the vein of Stan Sakai. You know, I decided to draw anthropomorphic characters, but I have genuinely no qualms. Oh, you know, you gotta take what you can get when it comes to dishing out justice, right? Staying off Facebook, I've been lacking him for an excuse. So Instagram is one that I'm kind of shamed about because it's like, since I tend to draw on canvases this size, a lot of my artwork actually just fits Instagram's thing really easily. I don't really have to crop unless I do the different canvas type. But it's like I don't know what to do right now. Like I made that point about how it only makes sense the year I have a book coming out would be the year social media seems to decide, hey, like everyone I think is feeling that way. It's a long stigma, you know. It doesn't help that you have, we live in a time where the most embarrassing examples of a group are typically what draws the most attention. I might repurpose this, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know for what, though. First step, your artwork's not crap. Alright, I was drawing Jet Jaguar kicking somebody. Yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place for whatever reason. It's a whole mess. But I do think one of the bigger problems facing just the internet and culture as a whole nowadays is that we've become so kind of... It's sad to me how there are people who, they get chosen as the representative of an entire group of people, and it's kind of like, whoa, we didn't pick this person on YouTube making a fool of themselves to represent us. Why is this falling on us? You know. Yeah, it kind of depends with me and Instagram. Like, sometimes I'd have a surprising thing where people I'd never seen before like something I did. And, that's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to try for, what feels the 5th time to draw Big Bertha. I don't know why I struggle with this so much. What's wrong with me? MySpace never got, it's like Zynga or any of those other ones. Well, MySpace felt like it was more of a process to use, It wasn't like Facebook. I'm sure a MySpace app would have existed. But, checking MySpace seemed like it was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and this is going to be my next half hour. And it's usually, browsing random stuff. I mean, I'm all for less social media than more nowadays. See, I never was much of a forum user, but I never really had one I could call home. So I never really got into them. Like any forum I got into, I just never felt like I kind of did, and that was, social anxiety or what have you. Oh, again, linking back to what I was talking about with James Rolfe, it's again, idol worship has gotten out of control. That's like a micro scale of that. That makes sense for Transformers fans. I imagine that's treated like the Iacon Library or something like that. See, DeviantArt wasn't that great for me either. Ironically enough, the biggest problem that time, I grew out of anime when I started doing artwork. And that was when anime artwork was at like its peak. Like that's when it kind of took over. So a lot of the groups I was in, I mean, didn't really like. Not that I was a great artist at the time, but it felt like there was more of a focus on one particular art style. I'm kind of glad that seems to have subsided because I see more unique cartoon art styles getting elevated nowadays. And granted, being on social media, like, being on social media in general was just never really all that great for me after a point. I was dealing with enough stuff in real life. Yeah, I mean, there's reasons. I still have people I mean, Facebook is kind of the predominant way I share my artwork with my parents. Yeah, that Twitter foothold. Credit to you for sticking with it. I mean, I don't think anyone needs to be shamed about it. It's just social media at the end of the day. You gotta do what you gotta do to an extent, Obviously not to the point a certain somebody we were talking about earlier does. I think there's something that could be said of research. Sorry, a friend of mine just sent me a text message. Friend of mine just sent me friend of mine just sent me another friend's high school picture, high school yearbook photo, and it's like, what a nerd. Yeah, I just kind of felt like at that time it was very hard for. It's like I'm struggling with poses. It's weird. I can draw on my iPad. I can do like full. I do full drawings on my iPad seemingly no problem. But for some reason here, but I guess it's not bad because I feel like at least I'm looking at it as every failed, well not failed, but every sketch is still experience. I keep telling myself that, and I keep telling friends that, even if the drawing doesn't go anywhere, you still did the process. I've been drawing on the iPad for so long, I'm lazy and I like to draw in bed. I wish I could set up a bed at a convention. Like, this is how I draw at home. It says me. Got some edibles, bag of chips next to me, and I'm just sitting there. Yep, making the artwork. I'm making the artworks. You know me. I mean, that's striking while the fire is hot, my friend. Yeah, hey Chris, how's it going? I was just telling him how I got a silly photo. I got a silly picture. Trying to draw Marvel characters tonight. I started the sketch of what I hope to turn into the Hulk, but it might change. Oh, this is Jaguar kicking Gigan. This is a different take on the Magneto drawing I was trying to do. Trying to draw Big Bertha from the Great Lakes Avengers. I've been talking about her a lot lately. Colossus? Oh, yeah! That would be... Yeah, that would be perfect for Colossus. Okay, alright. Actually, hold up. Let's work with this for a bit. That's a good idea. How could I forget about Peter? I have to deal with his damn sister and rivals all the time. Stronger, pain, basically bad. I keep saying, multiple social medias are your own personal multiverse of madness. Everything's the same, but slightly different. Yeah, this person likes me on this account, but over here they hate me. They like me on Twitter, but they blocked me on Blue Sky. What does that mean? Is this the bad universe? Is this the universe where I have the goatee and the mustache? Where I'm just like, I'm just a troll? I need to take that approach to digital art instead of getting into knots about brushes. I mean, that's also me just being I'm very ham-fisted with what I do. I mean, and Captain, you should have way more. I think you should be at 1,000 followers, personally. That's why I always try to send people your way. No, I'm kind of catching up with Chad. I've been sort of all over the place. Good conversation tonight. Yeah, Blue Sky is nice and comfy. It's like... I've moderated my feed to where I don't see things that frustrate me or upset me. And it's nice. It's very nice. I love drawing digitally. I mean, I like being able to do it anywhere. I like being able to have access to all these things that I wouldn't really have the space for otherwise. You know, it's nice. Feels good, man. So for Colossus, we gotta thin this out a little bit, which is cool with me. I mean, what is that? Analysis paralysis. Is that what they call it? Where you kind of start to... I've done that. I mean, I'm at a point now where here's what I have over 400 brushes because of that Frienden pack. And I literally use like 3 things. I think the most complicated I get is when I start doing digital painting and I've got this set up. And I could probably pare this down because these two are just genuinely different strengths of like stabilization. I don't know. I'm very much in the phase of my life now at 37. I keep it simple, stupid for my own sake. Nah, nothing awkward about it at all. Let me catch up. Blue Sky. Yeah, I mean, Blue Sky's pretty cool. I have no qualms with the place. I mean, of course there's going to be bots. Colossus is my main in the Marvel Champions card game. He's supposed to be coming to Rivals, too. I'm very excited to play him. And enemy prides about body types you don't know. I'm sure if mostly guys and what I'm generally better with softer, rounder characters. It's a process. Like, I've just been reading a lot. Ever since I started playing Rivals, I've been really into trying to tighten up my anatomy. It's funny, my pixel art is exceptional everywhere except Reddit. Reddit sucks. I posted a comic strip I did, a real simple one, and I had to explain the joke, and people were more concerned. Why are the characters anthropomorphic? And I'm like, that's not really part of the joke, but I don't know. It's fun to draw. I think people are boring. It can be fun though. Like, Colossus is the top tier X-Men. I think I watched all of X-Men '97 recently, so I've been really X-Men pilled lately. What an amazing show! I still can't get over it. Actually, you know what? We're gonna just draw a different Colossus here. Let's try and do this. Sorry, I'm jumping around a lot tonight.
This is a reminder. Quint shot.
Yeah, that sounds about right for Reddit. Sorry.
This is a reminder.
Sean has probably
Quint
got
shot.
that. Interact with the Monster Rancher Reddit. Testing a Magneto deck. Yeah, I never got that. The closest I did was Snap. Marvel Snap. And I enjoyed that. Well, you know what? I had a similar experience on Imgur or whatever. I'd post like artwork and it would be nothing but downvotes, and I'm like, "Geez, like, where is this coming from? What the hell? I drew the Tar Man. Everyone likes the Tar Man." Nah, Return of the Living Dead is great. It's very bleak, but it's a great movie. Features a potential Power Ranger. Because what's his name? Miguel Nunez. He also in Friday the 13th Part 5. That's great to know there is a connection between Return of the Living Dead, Tokusatsu, and Friday the 13th Part 5. Because Miguel Nunez was the Zack when they were bringing over Bioman, I think. I learned that fact and it still blows my mind. Yeah, I don't know. Redditors, yeah. Have a good night, Go Pause. Oh, I got the crazy legs. I'm oogity boo. We thought I was doing motion capturing crap. I've always liked Colossus. I always liked him and Nightcrawler. Like they always seemed like. But then again, Nightcrawler seems like he's friends with everybody. Nightcrawler was done so well in X-Men '97. Everyone was everyone. I can't get over how good that show was and how long it took me to watch it. Like I'm all hyped about season 2 now. I remember when I saw X2 in theaters, everyone got hyped when Colossus showed up. Everyone clapped. Man, I ain't gonna get locked in any of these social media wars anymore. I just want to draw my artwork and be happy. I mean, of course I'll take my stand against things, but also... I just kind of want to draw my dumb, goofy nonsense. I'll try and do both. Yeah. Mochi. Yeah. Just fair warning, and I'm sure you already know. I'm sure... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm sure you already know, but yeah, X-Men, the original 90s cartoon, gets a little rough after a certain point. Kind of suffers that, but I was pretty happy with how 97 really is, I liked how 97 let me jump in and I was able to kind of remember things. That was always the problem watching that show. I liked the X-Men cartoon, obviously, but I could never keep tabs on any of the stories because I'd miss an episode, and here we go. I mean, everyone got done really well in 97. Everyone got their real cool moments. Everyone got their time. It looks like we're in for some real wild stuff. Kind of going off memory, so My favorite, I think, growing up. Well, see, the problem is I watched a lot of Pride of the X-Men. I had that on VHS, and I watched it a lot. You know, the X-Men cartoon pilot where Wolverine was Australian as all hell. She's not an X-Men. Or wait, was that? Yeah. Oh, I was going to bring that Magneto I did. I was going to try and do some X-Men art. I actually don't have a whole lot of TMNT art. I'm trying to get something done. But I got time. I'm trying to plan out some fan art. I'm really looking to get a bunch of stickers made. But yeah, I was going to at least bring that Magneto I did. I feel like it's decent enough. I do want to draw some more. I'm sure some others will. I mean, it's really funny with the lady who does Rogue because I'll probably ask her more about Outlaw Star. Like, you played my favorite lady in all of anime. Just wanted to let you know, it's pretty cool. You did two great ladies. Yeah, Pride was fun. I watched a lot of Pride. Had Dazzler in it. I like Dazzler. I wish Dazzler was in Rivals. I had a friend who would make fun of me for liking Dazzler, and I never understood why. Like, she's delightful. Oh, because the average Australian is already superhuman. So they're probably all out there. They're probably out there. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm going for. I've got a few drawings I'm going to bring. I'm going to mostly try and peddle my prints. And I want to try and get like a zine or two made. I just want to take a bunch of the Luna and Galaxia drawings, and, like original character stuff done. And I want to take all 30 days. I want to take all the days of Kaijin and make like a little magazine out of it. I think the kids' book is finally done. I think we're waiting to. I sent off some final proofs. I think tomorrow I'm supposed to hear it, so I'll feel better, kind of going all in on original stuff. I'm excited though. I'm gonna just fair warning. I'm gonna be peddling that a lot. That's, I think, gonna be the big thing I'm gonna be trying to push at AMA and Kaiju Brooklyn by association. Because there's two real spot-on Godzilla references in the kids' book. Like one I prefer a little bit more than the other, but they're in there. Let's see, as far as favorite X-Men's go, I like Strongman for whatever reason. I thought it was neat when he showed up in X-Men 97. I think I just like Strongman because he's silly. I like his design. Like, it's so 90s, but that's almost part of the gimmick, which is kind of funny. Quicksilver. I think Quicksilver is definitely one of my favorites. I really like him. I tend to like speedsters, but he is like the closest equivalent of the Flash, like, for me. Well, Silver Surfer's not an X-Man. Do we want to talk specifically X-Men? Because, I mean, I can go either which way. I've been on this whole... I was saying they should add Surfer to Rivals. I think he'd be pretty cool. He could be an interesting flyer. Oh, right. He did fight Cable. That's true. Who hasn't Cable fought? Oh, wait. My favorite part of X-Men 97 in the infamous Genosha episode. Oh, cool. Cable's here. Oh, wait. No, Cable's here. Uh-oh, Cable's here. It's never good when he shows up. Usually means something from the future's coming, and it's never good. Okay, well, if we're talking regular Marvel characters, I guess... Zillions? I gotta rewatch Final Wars. There's so much about that movie I just forget because it's sort of a fever dream at points. It sort of just becomes a bit of a wacky fever dream after a point. A real wacky 90s fever dream. Has anyone in here seen The Substance? The body horror movie that's apparently up for Best Picture? My friend Mike saw it, who you might know from our wonderful flight simulator streams where everything goes horribly wrong. He saw it and he said he said it was a lot, and that's coming. So, my buddy Mike's the kind of guy like Phil and Chris know him, TK and TK Ambassador and Lucas Kobe. He's a bit of an odd man. He's a good man. He's a great man. Love that man. But he, when it comes to film, he dives headfirst into anything. Like you've heard him talk about movies like Tampopo and then he'll go and see the trashiest, he's got. So when a movie is too much for him, almost, can he steam a good ham? I believe he could. I genuinely think Mike could steam a good ham. I hate it that I keep falling into that. Oh, how far we've come. Oh, what'd you think of Tampopo? I really liked it. I thought it was a very wonderful movie. TG1C. Oh. I mean, their memes have lastability. That's the real major thing. Well, and you consider the fact that there's so many Simpsons one-liners are just used on the internet in general. I mean, I don't think anyone can mention a monorail. Reminds me of when me and Shauna went on our honeymoon at Disney World and we were going somewhere. I can do this arm better. That's not coming out right. We were going to like Wild Kingdom or something, and the kid on there, what's a monorail? And I'm sitting there like biting my lip, like, don't do it, don't do it. I'm like worried I was worried the whole tram was gonna just start going monorail, monorail, monorail. Yeah, Tampopo's Tampopo's a very layered movie. Like, I admittedly kind of bounced off of it a bit at first because I was kind of like, okay, not on your life. I was worried. I was waiting for the whole goddamn card to start off. Granted, we weren't at Universal. Maybe there was a hard and fast rule. Is it faster than the Flash? No. Or yeah. Can Superman beat the Flash? Yeah. No, it's a scientist. I like how whenever you get into a discussion about anyone, about Batman, no one can argue the fact that Batman is a scientist because of that quote. Not even the saltiest of nerds, the foulest of geeks, the most contrarian of dorks, can resist the fact Batman's a scientist. Like, again, you can't. It's like a kill switch. He is. Ugh, shouldn't have stopped for that haircut. Ogdenville and North Haverbrook. And by gum, it put them on the map. Screwing up my anatomy. We're getting there, though. We're gonna draw a smug Colossus. Here, wait, no. There we go. Catlossus. There you go, Chris. This is your This is your new favorite X-Man. Catlossus. Titanium claws. I am how you say kawaii. Why is this easier to draw? I don't know how we ended up here, but I'm pretty okay with it. My God. One of my favorite lines, actually, from that whole episode, cat losses. One of my favorite lines from that whole thing is, yeah, you call that an anchor? Anytime I play any sort of nautical game where there's an anchor, that's usually my first response. What is this funk we're listening to? What the funk is this? Why did I draw this? What was the precedence for this? I'm wondering. It's a great episode. Big One's Bitey. That's a whole episode you can really get in on. Great side character, Lyle Landley. A perfect character, perfectly played. That was Phil Hartman, right? I know that's like a dumb question. I'm kind of spacing right now. I'm feeling a certain way right now. Well, did you guys... Oh, I could draw... Oh, wait, hold on. I have another one I wanted to draw. MODOK. You know, we really did lose an all-timer that day. You know, the PS1 game he did the voice of the character for, Blasto, was actually... I think they were planning on doing more of it, but that was the reason why. The game wasn't a flop. Like, it was actually a moderately decent game. Making my own Spider-Verse, my own Spider-Ham universe-like thing. Oh man, there was a whole Avengers run where everyone became a MODOK. The cover's horrifying. I didn't want to see Storm like that. It's like you just kind of look at it and go, ew. Ew. With MODOK, it's funny. With you, it's disturbing. I want MODOK and Marvel Rivals so bad. This is pretty cool. This is actually coming along pretty good. Hey, I'm pretty good at this drawing thing, right? I'm sure this has been done. I think I did it before. Wasn't that kind of... No. I don't think that was the one, because this was like an actual Avengers run. Then again, it might be. MODOK's always... MODOK is a character that could be terrifying if done right, but... But you're not going to see that. I did not even bother watching Quantumania. I liked the title, but I didn't like... MODOK was leaked. Yeah, I figured. Everyone's saying, won't it just be constant headshots? And I'm like, that's why he's going to have a constant shield. The version of MODOK that was in that Avengers, the failure of an Avengers game, looked like actually one of the cooler takes on him. I'm kind of amazed they didn't use that more. I didn't play the game, you know, and it seems like everyone who didn't dodged a bullet. It's Donald Duck as his Marvel counterpart. Everyone thinks he'd be like, I don't know, Hawkeye or some shit. Nah. Well, I guess technically he did turn into the Hulk in one of the Mickey Mouse shorts. Let's see. Yeah, I think the Hulu series, which I didn't watch, I wanted to because it looked funny. It was like the last time you saw Arcade, I think. Didn't Dr. Doom like destroy Arcade? Like turn him into a statue? MODOK will be a lot of fun, I think. MODOK's one of my favorite characters in that Crisis Protocol game I play. Got the Doomsday chair. But yeah, like, I think the design of MODOK in that game looked pretty cool. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't take that. I'm sorry I'm drawing a silly take on MODOK right now. Catlasus, MODOK. Feels good to actually have gotten like something. I think I was going too hard on the anatomy. I think it was kind of I was having analysis paralysis. Yeah, I gotta get some rivals going with you guys. I want to diversify who I'm playing with more. Goofy is the Hall. Yeah, man, definitely. We gotta get that going. We gotta reach out. I got my Adam Warlock skin today, though. I'm pretty happy. I got that real cool one. You have a good night, Captain. Magnanimous was a great, Bruce Campbell doing a MODOK parody. Official What If comic where Mickey and friends of the that makes sense, and Donald is Thor, Goofy is Hulk. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Goofy as Hulk is funny because they had that episode of the Mickey Mouse shorts where they separated Donald's rage, and it embodied, basically it took on the form of a jacked Donald Duck that was just constantly screaming. God, Lord, wow. I don't think I'm there yet. I think Sue is my best chance at getting that. I've reached pretty high. Yeah, right? That'd be a pretty fun Kingdom Hearts world. They should do that. Oh, wait. I got the... Now, I will say this. This is like my favorite brush ever. Kirby Crackle set from Jason Piperberg. Great set. Ah, it's the Kirby Crackle, Fuposi. That legendary effect that just works. I'll probably come back actually and do that last. Maybe use some colors on it. Now I probably should still refine this sketch, but I think I'm feeling saucy. Actually, nah. MODOK needs those white eyes. He needs those classic It's like how I draw my Ninja Turtles. I will always like my Ninja Turtles with the white eyes instead of the pupils. Pupils aren't a bad look, but to me, those 2003 designs really got it right. I think, like, if I had to pick animated turtles, that is the ideal to me. I think those are the designs that got it. Obviously, I love the originals. I have my... And yeah, you made one too many Affleck jokes. Now you get psychically destroyed. I think I'm slowing down a little bit on Marvel Rivals, and not in a bad way. I think my limit now is do my dailies and try to jump on with friends when I can. I wanted him to look real gross, so I wanted him to have like the exposed gums. Trying to argue, people, this is the original. Oh yeah. I mean, because the Nickelodeon ones were pretty good, and they all like. It depends on the style. Like, I don't think I've seen. I think the only time I've ever seen Ninja Turtles designs I didn't like, it's those live action movies. And it's like, my problem with them isn't necessarily that they look like, they look more mutant-like, like kind of gross. It's the fact that they just have so much junk on them, it seemed like. The first ones, like the 2010, I meant like the first Nickelodeon cartoon. That was the one where I believe Leatherhead is voiced by Corey Feldman. No, 2012. Slash is voiced by Corey Feldman. And he's Raphael's pet. Yeah, those designs. I like those designs too. Again, I think like the only designs I never liked were those movie ones, and I think it's just because they were too busy, I think. Like, there's nothing wrong with accessorizing. I like that. It just sometimes looked like they were just kind of covered in garbage, which makes sense, but also to me... Yeah, I love when they differentiate the turtles. Like, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. I still have to watch Mutant Mayhem, it's on my list. But I don't mind that they gave all the turtles, like, their own little, like body shape. Like, they have subtle... They still are a uniform team, but there are those subtle differences, be it the tone of the skin, the freckles, stuff like that. I think that's great. I think that is the natural evolution of those designs. And Donatello with his glasses. I'd say the IDW designs are peak too. Yeah, Mutant Mayhem's supposed to be top tier. I still need to watch it, and I'm just trying to catch up. I mean, the original movie was so perfect. As time goes on, that movie ages like a fine wine. Yeah, I saw that. It's like, good for him. I mean, I'm not going to knock the guy. It's for me personally. I just think those designs... I mean, I think those movies were kind of not so great to the stuff. I will say this though, I didn't mind the second Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie. I thought it was actually really fun. Is it like is it up there with the... I would watch that over watching Ninja Turtles 3. I think that's something I can say, because I think Bebop and Rocksteady were done perfectly in that movie. The worst part of that movie was Casey Jones, which was stupid to me. It's like, how do you screw that up? But it's Stephen Amell, and I'm like, yeah, and he's terrible. It was terrible. Like, there was this. I mean, I have fond memories of going to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 in theaters. Okay, my dad took me. It's just a fond memory I have. I remember thinking the movie was not as bad as I thought, and I watched it again, and yeah, it's not good. It's bad. Bad writing, bad villain, missed opportunity, bad writing. Yeah, it's got some comedy in it, I guess, but nothing compared to the comedy of Ninja Turtles 2. I mean, Ninja Turtles 2, that whole opening. Yeah, Team Ninja Turtles 3 is where we all thought, hell, it's going to be like Turtles in Time. Awesome. I love that game. It's like one of my favorite video games of all time. This is nothing like Turtles in Time. I was lied to. I was lied to. Those aren't even Henson suits. Because the budget really went downhill at that point. Because you can see the progression of how the suit designs did start to get more... Like, you'll never top those original Ninja Turtle suits. Like, you'll never top that first... Couldn't get rid of You catch someone breaking the package open and it's like, look, I just don't want this. The music tour suits. I don't know, this might be a step up. At least there's some comedy there. The Out of the Shell tour. Or I can give him these kind of pupils. That's not too bad. I don't mind that. I love drawing wall-eyed. Fish eyes are always funny to me. That's why any chance I get to draw anyone with them, I take it. I love drawing fish-eyed. Whenever I draw Godzilla doing the atomic breath, I always make him go wall-eyed. Because it's funny. Because it's funny. So maybe we can make this even funnier. Hold on. I think we can push this even more. I think we can get even sillier. I learned to draw proper duck. You know that funny thing about that song? You know who directed the music video for that song? Michael. Bill. I'm sorry, not Michael. I was thinking of the other guy in the movie. Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton directed the music video for Fish Heads. He loved that song so much. That's him in the beginning of the music video buying the fish heads. You know, an old Dr. Demento sitting there. Here we go. In the morning, laughing happy fish heads. In the evening, floating in the soup. He's really mad at Catlassus. Like, furious. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, the best reason to draw is to make yourself laugh. I gotta give him more teeth. I think this is a problem that can be solved with more teeth. Yeah, there we go. It's just... He's just really thinking hard about how much he hates Captain Cat America. Oh, God! Mental organism designed only for karaoke. I'm excited for Ultron to come to Rivals, actually. I think he's going to be really interesting. I want more villains in general. I feel it's kind of lopsided right now. Are there any villains? Like genuine villains? I think it's all heroes right now, right? Or am I get lost when I try to figure out who all the DPS are, because there's a lot of them. There is Loki, you could even kind of... Yeah, no, Loki, I guess, would... Magneto. See, the problem is, they put in the two gray area characters, and I'm like, Magneto was kind of right. Especially after watching X-Men 97, I'm sitting there like, is Magneto a villain? Is Loki really a bad guy? You know, it seems like he got kind of a raw deal. I don't know. Venom's kind of an Hela. She's just doing her job, okay? Look. Hela's just a working lady doing her best, okay? Does that make her a villain? Yeah. I don't know, guys. Think Magneto... I didn't know why people had shirts that said Magneto was right on them until I watched 97, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, he was right. He was incredibly right. You know what, John? I'm going to give you that one because, yeah, I'm trying not to get salty, but boy, I hate Jeff the Shark. As a character, delightful. I stopped playing Marvel Snap after I got his card because I was like, I don't need to play anymore. But... in Rivals, I get mad. I get real mad. The other night, I was playing, and Sue Storm has a double jump. At the peak of my double jump, and I somehow get got by that stupid special. I will say this, though. The best feeling I've had in that game was a Jeff the Shark player getting me in that stupid thing and going and trying to spit me off the map. And I was able to double jump. I landed behind him, turned around and shoved him right off with the psionic thing. I was like, this is how... I was standing there. This is how Scar must have felt. Awesome. I get it now. I get Scar now. Oh, God, I hate it. I hate it so much. Doom, Thanos, or Mr. Sinister, all would be cool picks. I mean, Doom's going to inevitably be in there, I imagine. I want Green Goblin in because I think he'd be a real fun, like... You could have his Goblin Glider be, like, a regenerating thing where he, you know... If it gets destroyed, it takes time to come back, but he can, like, call it in and have it, like, swoop behind people. The Green Goblin. There's some sort of Green Goblin or something. Yeah. Oh, today we had some dickhead Doctor Strange come in. Stood there at the front forming a portal. The portal was useless, went nowhere, and then quits the game. And I'm like, why do people do this? Like, why? What is the point here? Whatever. Yeah. Whiplash should be interesting. Mandarin could be interesting because then you might be able to have like a counter to Doctor Strange. I mean, that's fair. What started this? Alright, so I was drawing Big Bertha. Yeah, let's jump back to Big Bertha. I like Big Bertha. Big Bertha is my go-to. She is who I want in that game, and not just for that reason. I genuinely think she would just be a really cool character again. You could ever be a dive tank, or you could ever be a front wall tank. I'm very curious to see how the Thing is going to play. I feel like he's going to be really fun, because I see him being an alternative to the Hulk, where his whole thing is charging in, and like, I feel like the Thing's whole thing would be kind of like, is the more people attacking him at once, like maybe the more counterattack potentially gets, because you know the thing fights to the bitter end. He don't go down easy. Absorbing Man would be real cool. I feel like then you'd have to like work in a couple different things, because you know the different levels and stuff like that. Crusher Creel, is that his real name? You can't have Ghost Rider in Marvels. Galactica won't let her in after what he did to her dad, and her dad in the Fantastic Four cartoon. Ghost Rider. I don't know which cartoon it was. I think it was a Fantastic Four cartoon, but there's this great clip. Ghost Rider just rolls up on Galactus. Hey, think about all the people you've eaten, and Galactus just like shuts down the Wrecking Crew. All four of them as one character you just cycle through because they're a bunch of jabronis. That was the most entertainment I got out of the out of She-Hulk because I haven't watched it yet. Was the people getting mad about the disrespect for the Wrecking Crew, and everyone's kind of like, okay, come on, the Wrecking Crew are kind of they're kind of lovable jabronis. Yeah, Pokemon Trainer. Swap through them real quick. I think that would still. Last time I saw Stiltman, Punisher shot him in the crotch with a rocket launcher. It was a Punisher War Journal issue I had where a bunch of the C-list villains were at like a local tavern, including Stiltman's wife. And it turns out at the end of it, everyone starts kind of collapsing, and it turns out the Punisher purposely had this funeral for him to blow up the bar with everyone inside. And I was like, that is cold-blooded. Well, Paste Pot Pete's supposed to be coming in. I was excited about that because I wanted to hear about the PPP meta. What's up, everybody? It's your boy here with the triple PPP skill. The Trapster, yeah. Well, the Trapster is coming in. I think, well, he's heavily rumored to be coming in. That would be a great. His ultimate ability. If you play as the Wall, you only work against Spider-Man. That's the unfortunate. But that one time you get a Spider-Man come to try and attack you, and it stops him dead in his tracks. Friend, that is the greatest moment of your life. Trying to figure who else, because I know this is like the big thing. Blade, I definitely want Blade. He's supposed to be heavily rumored. I don't see how you could not put Blade in there, especially because he appears in the. It's kind of crazy that the Dracula season that they're doing right now is when the Fantastic Four come in. It's kind of they're very good at subverting expectations because, logically, if I heard, oh yeah, they're doing a Marvel season that's all about Dracula, they should really just put Dracula in. Well, then you gotta give you have to give Moon Knight a line where if he sees Dracula, he goes, "Where's my money, you nerd?" Did you guys ever see the incredibly friendly character interaction, or not in the game, but the comic panel where it's Moon Knight and Punisher talking, and it's like the meanest casual conversation ever? Hi, Mark. Still worshipping your dead guy. Hi, Mark. Still crazy? Hi, Frank. Struggling with this right arm. I don't know why. I'll figure it out. You can put a. I mean, just give me the whole. You gotta get. Well, who could. You could do a whole monster team. You can have Werewolf as a DP. You can put Wolfman as a DPS. Hold on. You could basically Living Mummy could be a support character. Man Thing could be your Vanguard. There you go. You're like your tank character, or Frankenstein. You could do Frankenstein with that sweet leather. No, not leather. That sweet fur vest. I feel like they'll find a way to bring Howard in there. They seem to be all about trying to pick things that you wouldn't expect. Oh, I was talking to a buddy of mine how it'd be funny if they put in the captain from Next Wave. Also, Bloodstone would actually be really badass in that game. Because, like, I know we already have a plethora of gun characters, but she could be the magic gun user. That would be wild if they added in Monica Rambeau instead of Carol Danvers. I think I'm getting it. That's a good idea, though. I think I'll have to do that in the future. I think it's just balancing the fact that she has big boobs and wanting to show enough of the arms so I don't have, like, a one-armed lady. Oh, no! Thank you for Posey. I hope you have a nice rest of your evening. I feel bad for Black Widow because she just can't catch a break in anything. I haven't tried her yet in Rivals. I'm tempted to, just to say I did, because I'm really enjoying traveling around the set. Namor is like my new go-to guy. He's fun. Namor is my... Hey, Dander. I like Namor because I get to throw a whale at people. And it's really funny. Yeah, actually, I do need to stretch. Thank you for the reminder. It's really funny to It's really funny to do the horn and then have a whale hit people. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than getting a quad kill with a whale. Also, I like Namor's voice. I am Namor. He's got that, Nah, we don't need that monster. That's too much. That's just too far. Okay, there we go. That's a good idea, though, John. I'm gonna have to think about that next time. I have seen people do some real dirty stuff with Doctor Strange portals in that game. I saw a clip, some guy putting one right under a Punisher turret, and I'm like, that is such a waste, but man, you must have psyched that guy out for the rest of the entire day. Every time he's in his turret, he's like keeping an eye out, like the floor could disappear out from under me at any moment if there's a Doctor Strange out there. I don't know if he's done his portal yet. He hasn't done it yet, as far as I know, so that's a possibility. I'm very excited to see how the thing plays. Even though they've been doing a good job of kind of like, you know, defying expectations, I feel confident in thinking how Johnny Storm's going to play. I'm very curious. What am I doing? I thought I was drawing one of my characters. There we go. I finally drew a decent Big Bertha. Jeez. I don't know why that was so hard for me. I've tried like 4 times on 3 separate streams, I think. It's not even like anything big. It's just, I'm trying to... It's funny when you switch. Like, that's why I want to start trying to do... Thank you, Dender. That's why I really want to try and do some traditional art streams. Because I want to make sure... I mean, I feel like the things alt... If they don't, they know. I think they know full well what will happen. I guess technically, with him saying "flame on," though, I guess the question is: Are they gonna have him be able to switch back and forth? Like maybe that's how he heals, or maybe he has like. You douse him, basically, after you do enough damage to him, and he can technically survive long enough to get back in action, kind of like Hulk. Questions are out there. I mean, but the thing, I feel like his whole thing is going to be charge headlong into a fight. The more people you brawl with, the more your clobbering meter is full. I'm here to teach you clobbernomics. Get the Shaggy Dog in there. I mean, when are we going to get the Disney crossover, I guess? You know, since it is technically part of the Disney universe. Yeah, she has a really cool look in Big Bertha. Got a real cool look in that one Grey Lakes Avengers series, where she becomes kaiju sized at the end, which is really funny. Doorman is death. Get out of my way. It's funny how I didn't even know how much more of that existed. Isn't that new Spider-Man cartoon starting soon? But didn't it get doesn't it have a real dumb schedule now? Like they're like trying to get it out of the way fast, so I think Born Again doesn't run against it or something. I thought I was reading something like that, which is a shame. I'll have to work with that hair some more. It's an interesting haircut. Yeah, there's something about it getting moved around, right? Ugh, I'm struggling with this mouth. I'm coming back to it. This has basically been the new way I've been going about trying to develop drawings lately now. Is basically I do a super rough basic sketch and then I do a refined one, kind of like the pencil, and I'm trying to yell at myself to keep those underlayer ones very loose. Like the idea, I just want to get the idea down so when I go and kind of do a sketch over it, I can start picking those things and making sure, like, okay, this was something I wanted to make sure was in. Kind of resizing things if I need to. I mean, people who like Spider-Man are going to watch that show regardless. You don't need to... Yeah, it's like I figure I have infinite layers. Why be ashamed of using them? Layer's not a dirty word. I really am trying to just make myself care the right amount, you know? I'm not going to sit here and hem and haw about like a little line not looking right, but I'm going to make sure I at least take a mental note. Hey, next time I have to draw something like this, let's do better. Let's see if we can get it. to think who else. I'm trying to think of other off-the-wall characters. Oh, Impossible Man. You want to get weird? Make him a support character. Is it the Impossible Man? One of they're basically almost their Mitzit Spitlick. And/or Ambush Bug, or something like that. I feel like people would love to see the. I feel like people would love to see that take of the Beyonder from Moon Girl and Double Dinosaur, the Lawrence Fishburne version. There's a costume right there. What if Alan Moore wrote for Marvel? Alan Moore did write for Marvel a couple times, I thought, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he didn't. There are just things that seem like a thing Alan Moore would write. I think you're right. Welcome back, Chris. Alan Moore would probably do well at Marvel. I'd be curious what he would do. I mean, Alan Moore wrote one of my favorite Green Lantern stories. Mojo doesn't socialize, or Mogo. The Living Planet's Mogo, right? I'm getting that right, man. I've been out of touch on my Green Lantern. Mogo, yeah, because the story is great. That bounty hunter shows up on the planet looking for the mightiest Green Lantern there. And eventually realizes it's the planet, and that's why Mogo doesn't show up to the meetings. There was that time when Green Lantern was kind of on top of the world. Had that real good cartoon. I didn't watch all of it, but Shauna was super into it. Oh yeah, Moore would totally do an Adam Warlock story. Oh, he can't do an original Captain Marvel story now, unless it's specifically stated that it takes place before the death. I'll give Marvel credit. They haven't... I will give Marvel credit. They have not retconned the death of the original Captain Marvel. It was too real and too heartfelt. I'd be curious what Moore's take on that, because you've already kind of had, like, takedowns of this deconstruction of the X-Men. Because, didn't Grant Morrison write a particular X-Men run that a lot of people really like? That's where they had, like, the real interesting black and yellow costumes. I gotta get back to reading the New Mutants run I picked up. It's the original, starting from the beginning, and I'm really enjoying it. I want to learn more about those characters. I've always liked the New Mutants as a concept, how they were like, sort of like the developmental X-Men, in a sense, where it's like, yeah, these are characters who could easily probably get into the main team, but we want to keep them... We want to keep them kind of like, you know, very much like these are the younger kids of this generation. I gotta start pulling some definition away, because it's not muscle. Did Grant Moore and Alan Do Grant Morrison and Alan Moore hate each other? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I just never. Alan Moore is too busy worshiping Glycon, or whatever his name is. His snake god. I do like Alan Moore's Simpsons cameo, though. It's him, Dan Klaus, and Art Spiegelman. They beat up Comic Book Guy, actually. They're the League of Extraordinary Freelancers. Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, the best picture on the internet of Alan Moore is definitely him leaning over that table, yelling while Jack Kirby stands in the background, looking bewildered and just thinking, "What's that wizard so steamed about?" Boy, that wizard's mad. Ah, okay. I never knew. I like Alan Moore. I would say he is, tends to be one of my favorites. I haven't read much of what he's done recently. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. Alright, might work with that more. I don't know what this can become. Let's kind of mess around with it as I continue to figure out anatomy. I'll check that out later. I mean, I guess I could just easily keep this as Hulk. Kind of loosen up the posing a bit. I mean, Scott's another like the Chinese and the Scots, and the English and the Scots. You Scotsmen are a contentious bunch. It's made an enemy for life, Skinner. Maybe I'll just make this into like a big fish guy. How we feeling about that? I'll make a big sexy fish guy. We feeling a big hunky fish guy? I'm gonna draw a big hunky fish guy. See, every time I do this, though, I feel like I'm figuring out more and more. Again, I've been listening to a lot of those Frank Cho drawing videos. Sorry, and one big thing he said that really jumped out at me was anatomical landmarks. And, you know, now it's like whenever I look at something, I try to find the anatomical landmark and just try to make note of how it looks. And just make sure it's, like, burned into my memory. There's nothing. There's no reason like not to just always have reference on hand, especially nowadays. But there's a cool feeling to be able to just go like, oh yeah, I recognize this muscle pattern. Or this muscle group. It just feels good, too. Like, I'm genuinely... Like, learning anatomy is fun when you don't have a teacher being a dickhead about it. And none of my teachers were particularly ever... None of my art teachers even tried to teach me anatomy. They just yell at me for drawing in, like, a style. They didn't like... And I'm like, teach me how to draw in a better style, then. I don't know. He's gonna have a dopey face. You have to kiss your lips. Sorry, I'm not trying to be like I'm a comedic genius, but I'm also a little zonked right now. Teachers in yes, agreed. Thinking back, I had that like moment last year where I'm listening to The Wall, and I never liked the song that much. We don't need no education, I was there what it's actually called, but Another Brick in the Wall. There we go. I've always thought that song was okay, but it's kind of like Money off of Dark Side of the Moon, where it's like, I can take it or leave it. I usually skip Money. It's not a bad song, it's just I like every other song on Dark Side of the Moon more. Just imagine Luna looking up and it's like does like a sexual pan and then it goes up to this face. Ooh! Sorry. Yeah, Money is weak. Eclipse is my personal. I mean, I like that whole album because I'm into like weird prog rock stuff. So like, and that's like an entry level. That's basically like an entry. That's like the entry to Pink Floyd, but I think it's also like one of the best entries into like prog rock. Maybe it's a little heavy because I think you can also probably go with, Fragile by Yes, because that has Roundabout. It has some pretty funky tunes on it, but it's like, or Rush. I'd probably say Moving Pitch. Now that I think about it, I'd probably say Moving Pictures is like, if you have to recommend some baby's first like prog album, that's a good one. Nah, I think it's weak because it's boring. Sorry. It's been played enough. What am I doing? Woo! Yeah, oh. He saw something shiny. Someone put out a fishing lure. He sees a lady wearing like a sequined bikini. So it's like, it's like it's very attractive. Ah, that's a good one. It's a good album. Got I Talk to the Wind. That's a great song. It has 21st Century Schizoid Man on there too, right? That's got a lot of your hits. See, I dig Moonchild. I get it though. It's not. It's kind of like. I mean, to be fair though, I feel that way about. Zeppelin with. Hold on. There's some Zeppelin tunes that I skipped. Oh, I feel that way about Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. It's like, it's a decent song. It's kind of dull if I'm not in the mood. You got to be in a mood for it. Actually, am I even thinking of the right song? I know Kashmir. So it's just Jimmy Page. I just imagine that this Jimmy Page high walking around his living room. Yes, Stairway. That's it. Yeah, like, Stairway is not a song I listen to very often because it's like, yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason. There's a reason everyone tries to play it on the guitar first. Ooh. He's the Sea Prince. He's bright and shiny and dumb, and he's here to look for a lady. And he's gonna have a big he's gonna have like a mustache. This guy looks stupid. I love him. Woo! You know who's some good prog? Camel. Camel's real cool. I would highly recommend listening to Camel. They got this, Tarkus. Man, Tarkus is great though. That album cooks. And it's got that cool armadillo tank robot on the. I don't know what the deal with this guy is, but it looks like a Mega Man boss. That's pretty cool. The only thing that can defeat that creature is the lion tank thing on the. God damn, my chair is giving me grief. Camel's fantastic. I love him. Snow Goose is a great album. Sorry. Moon Madness is my go-to. I dig that album a lot. Man, I got real baked one day, and I got real dug into No Man's Sky, and I listened to that album a lot, and boy, it creates like flying over a planet and like a No Man's Sky planet when the moon, like the light hits right. It's very cool. Really? I really like the one with Carnival number 9. Brain Damage, right? No, is that it? I actually really like that album. I think Jerusalem's a cool song. Nah, I would disagree and say that Brain Salad, there it is, Brain Salad. I would argue and say Brain Salad is a good album. I enjoy letting that one ride. Yeah, like I think that one has more to offer. This started off as me sketching the Hulk, and now we got this goofy fella. See Dracula. Ooh, oh look, maidens to woo. Yeah, I can see that. Do I see a fair maidens for which to court? Like, I just imagine he's overly proper and kind of Vincent Pricey. Cow tools? Who would be good? I mean, Punisher, if you want to get real dark with it, because, you know, he's got his tools. He's got his murder tools. Yeah, Asia I never got tuned to. Vandergraaf Generator's great. I really like them. Pawn Hearts is like the album that got me into them, and then they have another one, I think, called The Pleasure Zone. Oh, Rhino would be perfect, yes. Lord Fishington the Third. A dandy man, a dandy boy. Ooh. I don't know. I'm really liking this character. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Don't judge me. Oh, yeah. I gotta give King Gizzard a try. Shauna listened to him. I know a few people who are super into them. I never got into Tool. Maybe I need to give them a try nowadays. I know they're kind of darker prog. Like, I know they have much more of a darker tone, I feel. At least that's the vibe I got. See, because sometimes I really don't hear a lot of people call Tool prog, but I can see how they would be from what little I've listened to. Shauna, what was the album you were listening to that's by some country singer or something? He did like a pretty good prog album from what I remember. Look at this dandy. Yeah, okay. Look at this dandy fella. He's just out looking for a lady. I imagine he's sort of like Johnny Bravo a little bit. Oh god, I'm so proud of the way this arm came out. Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. I can definitely understand how Tool fits the mold of a prog band. They're not prog, but did you ever check out Mrs. Beastly? They're real friggin' good. They got this album called Dr. Aftershave and the Mixed Pickles. It's like dirty funk. It's so good. It's some blasty ass dirty funk. That's interesting though. That's the beauty of prog. He is doing the Captain Knuckles face. Yeah, I would say definitely check out Mrs. Beastly. Dr. Aftershave and the Mixed Pickles is the album that I really like to come back to. Sturgill Simpson, that's it. Hey, look, a guy. Maybe this is the guy who actually. This is the guy who actually lifts with his legs when he grabs Luna. How do you know no more? Yes, he's gonna be like Namor. He's just gonna. This is standard ceremonial wear. Ceremonial? What the hell is it? Luna tools. Fork, knife, butter, donut. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give him one of those like those Jack Kirby style capes. This is the Luna Lounge, by the way. Actually, yeah, Master Fran, if you want some good stuff, look up Luna Lounge. I did not find them because of the. There's no association, obviously. It's just real good galactic funk. Salt and pepper shakers, yeah. A little barbecue sauce on hand just to be safe. Don't I see a fair maiden over yonder? Oh, you'll love the Luna Lounge. All their album titles are badass, too. You know, I almost bought a theremin last year. I don't know why. I just decided to look into buying a theremin. I just really wanted to. I just thought it would be funny. Let's see. Yeah, all their songs are cool, like the Luna Lounge, because it's like frequencies of a collapsing sun, harmonics of the void, cosmic funk wave background vibrations. Like, they got a lot of cool stuff. Here, hold up. I'm gonna play some Dr. Aftershave. Some Mrs. Beastly. We might get hit with a copyright strike, but that's actually, yeah, you know what? I won't risk it. But look them up. They're very good. I just thought about it because I'm technically cross-streaming to YouTube. YouTube, for whatever reason. Exactly. Sometimes you want to make the sound of aliens. I was worried that was going to be. I was worried I was going to get that for Christmas, and then I would have to use it right away. So I'd have to be learning to play the theremin alongside the drums. Just me sitting in my. Hey, Amy, how are you? I'm just drawing this funky fish fella. He sees a maiden over yonder. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, I gotta do something with that phrase now. Oh, neat. So, like, I'm curious. What's like the aesthetic there? Like, what are some things that would be? Because I was a '90s kid, so I was clearly I was like in the right time with the 2000s. But it's always fascinating to talk to younger people from into the 2000s aesthetic because there's like a divide right there. Not a bad way, just like I can kind of begin to tell where I think I was starting to fall off. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I bet it does. There's that one particular Ren and Stimpy track that is like quintessential space music. So this might not turn out 100% right, but I think My Chemical Romance still holds up. I think a lot of it's helped by the fact that Gerard Way seems like a legitimately cool guy. Like, even when they stopped, he created the Umbrella Academy. He did some work over at DC. He kind of helped sort of Pink Lights, Exaggerating Lamps, Pokemon Gen 4 poster. Yeah, that seems about right. Nice. That's neat. That's a fun aesthetic. I use Totally Spies backgrounds. Ah, yeah, that is like quintessential 2000s. Ah, Totally Spies. I watched more of it than I ever thought I would. It was just always on. Like I'd get home from school and it was on, and I'd always end up just having it on as background noise, and then a particular episode would catch my eye. Oh. Is it Valentine's Day themed? Born in 2002. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I say I was born in 87, so I was... That's an interesting... Because the whole 2000s to 20... The 2000s to 2010 are a very interesting decade. You know, because it's like, it was a millennium, so that's when I think we saw the peak of extreme, kind of edgy stuff. And, like, a lot of that aesthetic, and there was that brief time where they were trying to bring back, like, the raunchy 80s comedies. National Lampoon movies were still kind of getting made, like Van Wilder. Environments are hard. Sometimes you gotta just kind of dick around with them until, you know, over and over until you finally get to them. Environments are an art in themselves, as you know. It's a beauty. Each drawing can be seen as a level up. Oh, I know tons of people who genuinely love Totally Spies, like just genuinely loved that show. So I have no problems believing that. It says it totally did do that for a lot of people. It was a quirky show, and it wasn't afraid to get weird. And you know what? Dag nabbit, I respect it. I still remember Adult Swim in its infancy, because Adult Swim was a product of the 2000s, right? When did Adult Swim start? Like, I'm going to look that up right now. When did Adult Swim first start? Launched in 2001. So yeah, that is God, I remember catching that. I remember catching it at 3 in the morning before it was called Adult Swim and not knowing what the hell it was. And just watching Aqua Teen, it was the Robot Rabbit episode, and trying to explain to my friends what I saw. Like, it was this cartoon, and there was this fry. This fry with a goat. Like actual fries, like Frylock was his name, I think. And then there was this guy named Carl. I don't know why I'm drawing this. I know it's been done already. I just thought it'd be funny. That's true, but it's like I also had to throw in the fact that it was on Cartoon Network and it was swearing, and there was swearing, so I had to explain that, and they're like, there's no way they would do that, because the concept of Cartoon Network having any sort of genuinely adult thing, like, wasn't conceivable. Oh, look, I drew, yeah, I guess I'm drawing, Godzilla's Carl. Hey, as George the Animal Steel once said, the older the violin, the sweeter the music. Yeah, I know. It's not like this hasn't been done a million times, but we were talking Aqua Teen. I haven't drawn Godzilla yet. I'll draw, and you know what? I remember, that's what I was thinking of, because you got that in the style thing. Oh god, someone did a video where it's Anton Blast, it's Peppino, it's Peppino from Pizza Tower and Anton from Anton Blast doing the whole bit from Aqua Teen where Carl makes a friend and then Wario shows up. I think Adult Swim is a very large component because they played it, right? They were like the only place to air it. The internet is a completely different beast. Hey, Gong Man, what are you doing on my lawn? Yeah. I missed out on The Room. Remember when they played the entire Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie? And it was this in the bottom corner of your screen? Yeah. I mean, I hear it's kind of on that same level because you can tell that Tommy Wiseau genuinely believed he was making a good movie. See, I never followed much in the ways of prize fighting. That's cool, though. First time I heard of The Room was when Doug Walker reviewed The Newgrounds made an RPG. Yeah, I had The Room completely. The Room and Tommy Wiseau as a person has completely like. So I know so little about him. It's like I know the memes, like You're Tearing Me Apart, Lisa, and all that, but really, huh? Well, you know, if it works, it works. Gotta make him fatter. He's not Carl-like enough. So that'd be kind of gross looking. You tell that Ska King if he comes around my house, you're gonna have a problem. None of this matters. Guess we can go back to Big Bertha for a little bit. I like switching it up. Friggin' Carl. What a character. Oh yeah, hold on, Amy. I did a couple. This is a Hunky Fishman. This is Jaguar kicking Gigan in the face. This is Catlassus. I don't know how this came about, but it was really funny, and I still think it's funny. Big Bertha. Moduck. I did start to draw Moduck. I had a whole thing about how Big Bertha would work in Marvel Rivals. Again, give the people what we want. If you want a big-bodied... if you want a big-bodied lady tank, I mean, boom, right there. And she already has synergy with Squirrel Girl. Make her shots bounce off of Bertha, so she can basically be like almost like a relay point. There you go. Boom. Done. Boom. Took care of it for you. Come on, Netties, pay me. It's okay, Netties. You can just send my check in the mail. I can't wait for the Juggernaut to get added into Marvel Rivals, because I distinctively hope I can beat Charles with Charles, because they're supposed to be adding in Professor Xavier. Yeah. Yeah. We had a whole discussion about how, like, they did a pretty cool job with MODOK in that Avengers game that Bond. Well, the idea was there, but I also just checked out of the Marvel Universe at that point. Weird Al can do no wrong. Something comes out about him, the world will be crushed. I'm convinced that's one of the signs of the apocalypse. If something comes out about Weird Al being a terrible person, that, in my opinion, is like that's a sign of the end times. That is a bad omen. That is a bad omen, as the kids would say. No kids say that. But yes, I really hope. As I realize that as soon as he's the good guy. To be fair, Charles doesn't want to lead a team of kids to fight. And I think if Charles had his way, he'd be able to just teach everybody, hey, stop being mean to mutants. But therein lies the dichotomy. You see, Charles. Comics that are based on his cover, I don't get why they get more ambitious. Before he was famous, when she worked at a news company, I bet he was. I was waiting for him to say, "Yeah, I hear he's a real clown, like a real jerk." Kind of trying something different with the hair. Why can't we be friends playing in the distance? I don't know. I think I am going to call it a night. We're about around the time I'd start to cool it. Not again. Fun stream. You used to play in the bathroom. You could hear it through the vents. Oh, I think I remember you telling me that. So you would just hear my baloney. Was it my baloney? Was that the parody of My Sharona? Or My Corona? Actually, I don't even know. I'm tired. Yeah, tonight wasn't too bad. I actually got some fun. It was My Baloney. Okay. It's like I'm thinking to myself, that seems... Because Weird Al can go pretty he can go pretty dark sometimes, but then he can make something like My Baloney. My Bologna. So yeah, we did some cool stuff tonight. Had some fun. Good. It was just progress compared to my last one. Last time, I think... Trigger happy. Yep, very much so. So yeah, that will be it for tonight. Tuesday night stream is up in the air. We'll see. Progress. Prog rock. I love my prog rock. Alright, well thank you everyone for coming by, hanging out. I hope everyone has a good start to your week. Should be streaming on Wednesday like usual. I'm going to see what I'm going to do. Tuesday stream's up in the air. Yeah, we'll kind of go from there. See where the week takes us, right? Alright, everyone have a good night, a good evening, and have a pleasant tomorrow.